Thank you again for tuning into the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. I'm your host, Richard Clark. I'm a full stack Android developer with a focus on efficiently learning the pillars of software development and teaching you, new developers, how to do the same. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, then subscribe. Getting into this video, I've been wanting to make this one for a long time, but I don't know, it's just been on the back burner. But I wanted to tell you guys a little story about my experience before I got into the software development world. Now, the point of these Road to Pro videos is pretty much to give you stories, things that I've experienced that you probably have also experienced, because, I mean, if you've gone to school and if you left high school thinking you were going to go to school and get a job in software development or writing code or whatever, then trust me, you've heard this one before. But my goal is to tell you guys my experiences and kind of put you on to what I would do differently and give you like a lesson from it at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. At my school, when I was going to one of my last schools, we had these, I'm sure you guys have had those fairs where the universities come, like transfer day or whatever you call it. Universities from the nearby area would come by. They'd send reps down and recruiters to pretty much try to get people interested in the school and give them information. It's a good time to figure out what, if you haven't already, which schools offer what you're looking for, so that you can, transfer and continue your education. So I would walk around and check out the different schools they had there. I wasn't really sure yet, and I wasn't looking to really make a firm decision, but it's like 15 minutes out of your day, walk around, ask a few questions, whatever. So I'm going around and I get to one school in particular, and it was an honor school. And I'm not going to say the name of the school, but just know that it had a high GPA requirement, and that's about it. It was just an honors university, right? So I'm talking to the representative, and where he's telling me about, oh yeah, we offer computer science and this and that, blah blah blah. Cool, but do you have a work study program? Now, if you are uninitiated, work study programs allow you to take classes and work on campus at the same time. So when you do a work study program, you can do like administrative work where you're like doing office things, maybe helping out a professor with managing paperwork and things like that. Other times you'll do tutoring, or just things in that area. And at the time, I was doing both math tutoring, and I worked doing administrative work on campus. So I'm already like knee deep into it. I know how the programs work, and I'm looking to keep doing that because, I mean, come on, who doesn't like a little extra money in their pocket? And if you're like me and your parents didn't put aside money for you to go to college, then you have to find your own way to get the money. And I'm not a fan of taking out loans. So, hey, if I can pay my way through, that's even better. So, I'm asking the guy I asked him about the work study programs that they have, and he kind of just had like this, his whole attitude switched up. And he was just like, what do you mean work study? Why do you want to work while you're going to school? And I'm looking at him like, what? Now my attitude has switched up, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Shouldn't you know what these programs are? But it's crazy, because why wouldn't you want to help me figure out, things about work study? Like, if you're supposed to be recruiting me to join your school, then why on earth, and I'm pretty sure every school has work study programs, but why not just put me onto it or tell me about it or say, hey, you can check the website or something like that? But instead, the guy's like, well, why would you want to go to school and take classes, or why would you want to work while you're in school? I mean, the whole point of going to school is to take your classes and get good grades. And I was like, what? I was really shocked. This guy was really trying to but you know what? I didn't walk away or anything. I thought, okay, maybe I can convince this guy, and if he sees where I'm coming from, then he'll probably change his tune or whatever. So I explained to him, listen, right now I don't have money saved. and I'm getting financial aid, but I'm also paying for classes out of pocket too. So it's not even like I'm going to school for free. I still have to pay, but I'm working so that I can pay down my debt, or pay for my classes so I don't end up in debt when I graduate. And he was just like, "What? No. If you want to go to class, you want to take classes, then you should be focused on your classes." And the whole point of an honor school is that you're supposed to be a high GPA student. You shouldn't have time to be working. You should be focused on your studies. So, I mean, it wasn't a very good interaction overall, but I learned something that day. You're gonna have people from different walks of life, and they're all gonna have different approaches to whatever. But don't let them knock your hustle. Don't let somebody try to knock you off your game and make you feel as though your plans are some shit, or like, oh, this is no, oh yeah, this so and so, they told me that this isn't gonna work. Nobody does it this way. I should just do what they're telling me to do. Nah, man. I thought, and it didn't rattle me because I was so firm in my plans at that point, but it surprised me that someone could really have that perception, especially someone who works as a college recruiter. I mean, if your job is to convince me to join your school, then wouldn't it behoove you to be more accepting and listen to people when they're talking to you? Like, as a like seriously, if your job is to bring people into the school, you're supposed to make me want to come and sign up. You came all this way from wherever university that you're from, all the way to my school, so you can set up a table, set up your little banner, put your paperwork out, and talk to people all day long. Shouldn't you try to get people to join your school? And if not, at least point them in the right direction. But instead, the guy was being kind of standoffish and had a whole attitude, only because I want to work while I'm in school. Listen, there are a lot of people who they don't even work their first job until they finish university or they finish college, or they've only worked one or two jobs, maybe like at McDonald's for 2 months or something like that, or they maybe in high school they did chores or did something to save up money to buy their first car, and that was it. But not many people have worked beyond outside of, like, in let's say people in their early to late 20s who are finishing university and getting their first degree and going to college, or going into the software development industry. There aren't that many people who have large breadths of work experience, okay? But I'll tell you right now, it's good to have. It's great experience because it sets you up for when you get into the real world. But I don't want to get too much into the idea of working. The reason I brought it up was my approach is for me to work now so that I can do things at my own pace later. But a lot of there's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you want to approach life, then, and that's how you want to approach your education and your career, then hey, have at it. There is no, whatever approach you have, go for it. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. But commonly, a lot of people, like, the popular idea in the West is that as soon as you finish high school, take out some loans, pay for school, and do it as quickly as possible and knock it out, and then you can work. And then while you're working, you can pay off, you can get a lot of luxuries, but also pay off the debt that you took out to go to school in the first place. But for me, I'd rather not have the debt, because you never know when things can happen, like what we see going on in the world today. A lot of people have lost their jobs who thought they'd have jobs tomorrow, and the next thing you know, they don't. But that debt's not waiting on you. So my perspective is to do the hard work right now. Why would I go to school first and then do the hard work later, when I can do the hard work right now and go to school at my own pace? So, ultimately the lesson to be learned is, don't let anyone try to talk you out of your plans. You figure out what you want to do and you stick with that. And just because the person's a recruiter or a professor or whatever, don't let their title fool you, because there are many professors and there are many recruiters, but there is only one you. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Don't forget, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see when I upload new videos each week. Also, join the Coding Fanatic mailing list on the Coding Fanatic website. and you will be the first to know before I even tell people that it's on YouTube. So yeah, thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.